6:30 in the morning. I've got my earmuffs on, so I'm probably shouting and pissing everybody off. I was going to just go out to the car to get me out water bottle because I got a bad back again. I got a day off because I've got to work the weekend. And I thought I'd just keep going. And look how icy it is. Bloody icy it is. So I'm probably going to go arse over tit. I might get to the end of this road and change my mind, actually. It's bloody -3. -3. And I've gone mad. My ears are alright though. I bought these earmuffs from the charity shop. They were nearly as much as they were bloody more than they'd be in a bloody other shop. But what's the matter with charity shops these days? Anyway, that's interesting, isn't it? So I can't hear myself because of these bloody earmuffs. So I have no idea how loud I'm talking. So we'll have a little update from last time. So I've been out of action. I've been out of action for about 5 weeks. And I have had the Convids. Would you believe it? Everybody was dropping like flies at work, so I had to go and have a test. And I came back positive. And yeah, it's a flu. It might just be the flu that they called the Convids. I don't fucking know. You can still hear my chest now. So I'll explain to you what my Convids felt like. Icy, isn't it? So started off on the Friday when I was at work. Everybody was dropping like flies and having a test and coming back positive, so I thought, fuck, you know, I better do that. Because everybody gets panic attacks about it, don't they? I'm not joking about panic attacks because I have panic attacks, so chill out. God, my breathing, I tell you, it's because I've done no exercise for 5 weeks. Not that I do a lot anyway, but fucking hell, I can definitely feel it. So I started off on the Friday at work. And I was working till 8 o'clock and there was no cooks in and you just had to do 500 things that you wouldn't normally do, but anyway, it's knackering. And did I have a little tickly sore throat? I might have had one of just a little tickle that you just ignore sort of thing. But the rest of my colleagues, the younger ones, were like, oh my god, this one girl, she said it hit her like a ton of bricks to start with. Well, it didn't hit me like a ton of bricks to start with, but then it did. Then it fucking did. But weirdly, didn't have a temperature, didn't have a cough to start with, just felt all my muscles in my body were killing me. Couldn't get out of bed. You know, could go out of bed for a wee and that was about it. But no energy. Sleeping. It was like I was on fucking Valium or something. Yeah, it was sleeping and aching. And so there was that. What else physically? Oh, I got this weird lump on my tongue. And then I googled that COVID tongue. Of course it is. But then I read somebody else saying, oh, that's herpes. I'm like, oh, great, thanks. So this big lump on my tongue. And that's only just starting to go now. And yeah, I did lose my taste and my smell. But that's not a weird thing to do when you get a cold. Because I always lose my taste and my smell when I get a cold. I think I've got dodgy sinuses anyway. But it's like, didn't lose my appetite, obviously. But everybody's like, oh, I lost my appetite. I'm like, well, I couldn't taste it, I couldn't smell. Imagine not being able to taste or smell, but not losing your appetite when you're me. So you can imagine how much that pissed me off. So I couldn't even cheer myself up, stuffing my face. So taking bloody... If I didn't take paracetamols, I fucking knew about it. It was like I was hit by a bus after a while. So what else physically? Yeah, nose completely bunged up. Yeah, so it was mainly the aching and the tiredness, but mentally, that was the one that got me. So mentally, I was fucking depressed, man. I mean, I'm always 2 seconds away from depressed, but this was full on. I'm gonna die. I mean, I don't watch any mainstream anything, as you all know. When I log on to my AOL emails, they give you the fucking news, and sometimes I'll take a screenshot of the headline just to put in a video, but I never not very often do I click on it. And so it's not like I'm one of these people that have been fearmongered by it all, because I don't listen to the fearmongering. But there must be some collective fear going on here, mate, because I had the weight of the world on my shoulders with regards to I'm going to die of the Convids. I literally, I didn't think I was ever going to get better. And it dragged on, don't get me wrong. It took 2.5 weeks before I went downstairs. You know, and I was just in such a dark, bad place. I was so depressed. So I think there's something in this collective, you know, they're sort of like harvesting the collective fear of the population. There's got to be, because, like I say, I don't have that fear. I have fears about what they're doing. You know, I have fears with what they're using this nonsense to do, and the laws they're bringing in, and how they're changing society and bringing in new normal phrases, you know, and how Zoom meetings are a thing, and you know how not, you know, it's right to be terrified of your neighbours, and, you know, herded us in like cattle, and the masks, and I'm scared of where they're taking us. I've got to try not to be, though, because you got to push in. That's my new phrase, push in. That's what I mean by push in is do your writing, do your art, do your bit of walking, do your whatever it is you do. At the moment, Mark does his writing. I might do a little bit with Mark. At the moment, mine is like animation. So watch this space. I bought this little flip book thing and a tripod for my phone, because the last time I did it, it all went to shit and fingers fell, because I was balancing it on a top hat and some bubble wrap with my phone, and I took 1,500 pictures of stop motion, me drawing this mandala. Oh god, it fucking fell off the top hat, and then you can't get it back in the right place. So anyway, I bought a tripod, and I'm gonna do, so my pushing in, basically, cut long story short, is creativity, always has been. And a bit of spirituality. I mean, I've been around the houses with this, mate. I've started off when I was 29, just turning 30, going down I had kids, and me and my husband at the time weren't getting on, and it was all going a bit dark. I started going to bloody just the normal Church of England church. I didn't bloody know, did I? Didn't know. Quite liked it. It was the singing that used to make me cry, so I thought, oh, there's something in this. Oh, look at these. Right, okay. You can't see it, but that's more than paint pebbles for nurses or something. Which is bullshit, but it's creativity. It's creativity, so it's better than nothing, isn't it? So I started off Sunday school, taking my kids to Sunday school, because I was like, they're not getting any fucking morals from me. They were, but I think I was going down a bit of a dodgy path. So, and then I ended up starting running bloody Sunday school, and so there was that. And then what happened, and to cut long story short, well, I probably won't, but then we went to like the Pentecostal happy clappy giving birth to demons on the fucking floor bullshit. You get well into it though, mind you do, you know, speaking in tongues, did all that. Then I got this. Then I joined the Salvation Army. No word of a lie. I was fucking skinny then. I was like a size bloody 8 to 10. That was because I'd had me bloody gallstones out. Anyway, I bloody looked good in that uniform, mine. So during Salvation Army, then I got divorced, and so I was like, oh, that was the last thing on my mind. But whilst I was contemplating, I'm going to change hands. Whilst I was contemplating going to church, I was looking into everything. I was looking into what all religions meant by a faith. I was looking, nearly sent off for a course in witchcraft. That's funny, isn't it? A course in witchcraft. But ended up down the Church of England. Don't ask me. I just quite liked it at the time. The community was all right, but it all got a little bit. You'd ask a serious question about something like in life, and they'd go, and it was getting on my tits. They'd go, pray on it, and I'd be like, oh yeah, sorry, silly me. In retrospect, they didn't have a fucking clue. But anyway, long story short again. So I've done weird things like that. I've looked into weird things. I don't just look into it, I fucking join it and think I'm going to be the head of it. Thought I was going to go train as a bloody Methodist minister at one point. So I don't just do things by halves. I get right stuck into it. So I can't even remember why I started doing this. I mean, bloody earmuffs are falling off my head. Right, we're just going round in circles here. Literally on the walk. And what I'm talking about, probably. So, what am I talking about? Yeah, I don't do nothing by halves, so I have experienced things. I've bloody spoken in tongues, prayed in tongues, been on the floor, completely, oh God, I've bloody things I've done, bloody mad in the head. But I think it's all part of me trying to find my spiritual way, or knowing there's something there. And just trying to I wrote this poem called A Hole in the Soul, and the Christian stuff that, they had that mine. Because I said I filled it with Christianity at the time, but there's definitely a hole, well, I used to call it a hole in the soul, that needs filling in people, I think. Atheists don't think that, but for me personally, I can only talk for me, can't I? I think that, there's something missing, and I'd always filled it with art, and I still do to a certain degree, and I don't think that's a bad thing now, listening to Thomas and all that. So what am I talking about? Oh yeah, so I'm fearful, other people are fearful of catching the Convids and dying, etc. I've had the Convids, it wasn't nice. I've had what they call the Convids. I'm not saying it's a thing, it might just be normal flu, so don't start on me, fuck's sake. I've had something that they called the Convids, and I'm not going to lie, I'm 50 this year, it went nice. I wouldn't want somebody who's 80 having what I had, I'm not going to lie to you. But it was just a flu at the end of the day, and if I get to 80, which I know I won't, flu season, I'm just going to stay in. You know what I mean? I don't want the flu. Never mind something that, never mind the flu that they've put a bow tie on. This is what this is. So most people are scared of actually catching the Convids and dying. I understand that. But would they be if they didn't have the telly and they didn't have the internet and they didn't have the newspapers? Because I'm walking around Box and it's nice and it's icy and I'm a fucking key worker now, so you better bloody get on your knees and start fucking banging a pan for me, alright? Fuck's sake. And I'm not seeing what I thought a pandemic was, mate. You know what I'm saying? But, okay, people are watching the telly. Literally, there is a fucking house there. It's 6:30 in the morning, and I can see the blue light of a telly on already, mate. So if you're going to start watching this bullshit at 6:30 in the morning until you go to bed, then you're going to be fucking scared, aren't you? So people are scared of that. Okay, fair enough. I'm scared of what they're doing with the world, using this flu to do it. But I'm trying to, what I call my new phrase, push in, because they've broken out. You can't. Mark used to like going to the pub and watching the football. It's just a little thing, isn't it? These bloody elite bastards have got their own islands. They've got their own golf courses. They've got their own jet planes that they can do things on. Do you think they're locking down, you dickhead? No. But we weren't asking for much, were we? I just like to walk around Hobbycraft and look at the knitting needles. Mark used to like to watch the football. You know, I didn't used to have posh holidays abroad. I liked a hot tub in Pembrokeshire. That was my favourite holiday. You know, just go into a bookshop and looking at the books and before you buy them. And we used to like going to Glastonbury. They got a nice little shop there where sells CBD chocolates, and that's the only way I can have CBD to help my arthritis, because anything else gives me. Well, actually, that tea that they do in that Free does in the hemp shop, CBD for my arthritis, it used to be good for me, but you know, it's just difficult now, isn't it? And you just don't bother with it. These little delights that you used to do, and everybody's getting fat. I was already fat, so. But to be fair, this time last year I was at Slimming World, wasn't I? You've seen the videos. I lost 3 stone altogether in a few months, literally in about 3 or 4 months. I've put that on and more, so that didn't help me arthritis. What am I going on about? Okay, pushing in. Most people are scared of getting a pandemic. I'm, if I let myself, scared of what they're doing to the world because of this flu, cold thing. So I'm trying to push in. And that means, for me personally, getting creative again, because I didn't do that when I had the Convids, but I'm not going to lie, a few months before I got it, I didn't do it either. It's like this melancholy just comes over you and you don't even realise you're not doing it. But also, getting back into my spiritual. And hold on, wait for this car to go by. Dead air, that's professional, isn't it? Like, reading that book about the tarot cards and, you know, thinking the tarot cards are brilliant. They're not scary, fucking witchy, occulty shit. It's just drawings on a bit of card, and I don't think they predict your future. And people are all scared of it, aren't they? I used to be, not going to lie. I used to be like, oh my God, I can't have a tarot card reading. What if I get death? It don't even mean death. This is all just idiots that have been brainwashed. It means like the ending of something and maybe the start of something else. I'm not 100% sure about that, but I'm learning about it. And these secret societies and all this business, this is how they think, and this is how they communicate with each other, and they see the bigger picture in a way. It's like life's journey, like with the fool starting off as a bit of an idiot that's going to fall off a cliff because he's a bit overexcited about getting over there, and the dog's like, fucking come here, you can fall off a cliff, and he's like, I don't fucking care, I'm going to get that butterfly. And then you go to the magician who gets the knowledge or the power from up there with a stick and brings it down. And then I can't remember, but Thomas Sheridan, Neil MacDonald, amazing. I've already told you about these. But it's like the life's journey, and it's also the development of the consciousness. So you've got, like, I can't remember how it starts off. I'm only just starting to learn about it. But the Fool is something like the subconscious, and then it goes to, you know what I mean? There's each thing sort of represents subconscious, conscious, superconscious. I'm getting this wrong, but I've got it written down somewhere. And it's about the human experience, and these bastards at the top know. And they're utilising these things. They know that we can tap into the consciousnesses or whatever. And to be honest, isn't that what we need to do, especially right now? Don't we need to, like I say, my new thing, push in? Hold on, wait for that car. Like I say, they've broken out, haven't they? They've broken it. Out is rubbish. I can't go and have a look around Hobbycraft anymore. I can't, you know. I can't even give you loads of examples because I never used to go out much anyway, but certainly wasn't as depressing. Just go out for a coffee or something. That's all I fucking needed. I didn't need no fancy going out. So they've broken out, and you walk around and nobody's got a face. And it's like, oh, this is mad. So I think it's going to be difficult to control all that bullshit, and I'm not going to lie, I get triggered when I see it and I start shouting at people in the street. So, honest to God, I do. I embarrass people, my bloody family. I start bloody calling everybody sheep and shit. I'm just a bit rude. So, guys, I'm getting triggered. What does that say? Exposure and focus are locked. Oh, well, I don't know what that means. I pressed something accidentally. So, I'm going in. Not indoors. I'm going indoors in myself. And I'm using these tools. I'm going to start using these tools, like the tarot cards, to tap into it. Because it's not like magic. Like, like the Ouija board, I wouldn't touch with a fucking barge pole, mate. Because I think that taps into, I believe in the jinn, don't I? What they call the jinn. I think that's what a lot of these, because we even started going to spiritualist church, and we both got this, like, on the very last day before everybody had to lock down, me and Mark went to spiritualist church, so we both got somebody saying, somebody saying this, and it was really believable. It wasn't scary, but I don't think it is our dead family members. I think it's entities that are trying to manipulate us. So I wouldn't open myself up and do that bullshit. I definitely wouldn't do the Ouija board, fuck right off. But tarot cards are different because you interpret them yourself. You don't like close your eyes and fucking ask for somebody to give you a fucking sign, or you know what I mean, you're doing it yourself. And I think it's just a tool using what Thomas Sheridan would call, I think he would call this, I might be misquoting him, but archetypal symbols. So, apparently when you're in the dark for a long time, hold on, my ear must have fallen off, hold on. If you're like in the dark for a long time, like prisoners and that, in the dark, these bastards put them in the dark. Why would you do that anyway? You actually start seeing shapes in your head, or I don't know if it's third eye or whatever, but there's these certain symbols that you will start seeing in the dark in your head or whatever. And Thomas Sheridan, they're the archetype symbols, and so where are they coming from? And I think that the tarot cards are just tapping into maybe archetypal symbols that the human experience or the human consciousness is, the human consciousness is tuned into, is affected by. I'm not really sure because I've only looked into this a little bit. So these symbols of, I got a feeling that these tarot cards and things like that, they've been incorporated, the archetypes, what they mean, what they look like, what they represent, have been put into these tarot cards. And when you use them, I think you're tapping into something inside you that's all there already. I don't think it's like demons putting things in there. I think, and that's how you can draw stuff out from the deep levels of your consciousness, because you're interpreting the cards, which have been embedded for hundreds and hundreds of years with deep archetypal meanings that you might not know on a conscious level, but is really deep consciously within you. And so it seems like you're predicting the future, or you're like, oh my god, I can't believe they said that, that's so true about me, because it's almost like, this is like a kind of mind reading, isn't it? It's like consciousness reading, soul reading, let's call it that. So that's me pushing in. So when I say push in, it means also what I've been doing is not listening to doom and gloom podcasters, video people anymore. Don't listen to, I listen to Ben because he's lush and he cheers me up. I don't agree with everything he says, he knows that, but no matter what comes out of his mouth, it's uplifting. So there's that. And I listen to Thomas Sheridan and Neil MacDonald because they're uplifting as well. They're positive. But to be honest, I don't really listen to anybody else because, you know, I know you've got all these people that do an amazing work like James Corbett and all of those, Jason Burmas, and, you know, amazing, getting right into it. But it's scary, and I don't think I want to be part of scaring people like me who aren't terrified of dying of the Convids, but can be triggered into being terrified about, for want of a better word, the New World Order and the dystopian future that, you know, they're trying to put on us. And I watch these like Corbett reports and Jason Burmas and amazing people. God, and there's so many others. You know, I even love that. I'll tell you who I really love. He's absolutely hilarious. Gareth Ike. He does this thing glitching the code of his mate, and they're so funny. But it's still, they're funny talking about things like mask wearing and, you know, all this Klaus Schwab. And see, that's the outside. That's what I'm trying to say. That's the outside, which is being broken, and that hurts me on a deep level, which causes me fear and anxiety, which could potentially be what they want in it, the food that they want, on the energetic level. So I only listen to a couple of podcasters now. I've been watching a few films, used to, you know, these dystopian films, and it's like, instead of going, oh my God, that's terrifying, I just laugh at it now. It's like they've literally been telling us for years. So I can laugh at those now, so that's positive. So pushing in rather than, it's like, it is what Thomas Sheridan says about parallel existence, parallel universe, what he said. Live in a parallel society, he says. But that doesn't mean, you know, because they've broken that side, so we can't all meet up in a pub and fucking talk about bloody, I don't know, fucking UFOs, or we can't go to conferences anymore. You can't, you know, we can't. The anarchists, they've told the anarchists, go and sit down in your bedroom, and they have. Get to your room, the anarchists, and they did. Obviously not everybody, but you can do it in a different way. And it resonates with me, the way that Thomas and that talks about it. You can do it in a different way, like in a magical way. You can, it's like creating a brand new secret society within yourself. You know, make your own symbols. Be, you know, have things that are pertinent to your soul, that resonate with you, that make you be able to bloody put one foot in front of the other, literally like what I'm doing now. So what am I going on about in a nutshell? Push in. Don't focus on out and worry about out and get angry about out and fucking, yeah, fight out. Because part of me thinks, obviously, they know things about the cycles of existence and the cycles of the universe, and, you know, we've had great resets before, haven't we? Loads of people are coming out, loads of researchers are coming out of the woodwork now, talking about, oh, you can see these stones a bit better now. Yeah, I think that's nice. I mean, you know, it's rainbow in it, and that's a symbol in itself. But the thing is, it's also, you know, while they were painting them things, yeah, they're painting the rainbow and they're focusing on that, and that's part of the magic spell, but hopefully they weren't worrying too much, or maybe they were, maybe, I don't bloody know. What's the time? Oh, it's half an hour. Yeah, I'd be lucky if anybody gets to this stage. But, what's it going on about? See how it's got lighter now? It's still bloody -3 or something. But, what are they going on about? Yeah, we need to make our own society within ourself, like a little seed that's germinating. Because yeah, you've got researchers coming out of the woodwork now talking about how these buildings weren't made then, they were bloody always in bloody Boston or something. You know, that bloke that talks about Howdy, his name is Howdy something or another, talks about the I've talked about this before, what's it called, the great exhibitions I used to have, you know, showing you, oh, this is in India, this is in France, this is in America. You know, how the fuck would we know, because we couldn't go there. It's a kind of thing anyway. And they're all coming out the woodwork, and you know, mud flood stuff. Some people say it's a load of bullshit, but if you actually watch some of these videos, why the fuck have they got fucking windows underground then? Especially in Russia and things, well, everywhere. And they dig these old buildings and they excavate, and there's 3 floors underneath the fucking road. Well, with windows. What the fuck's that all about? Nobody's going to build that. So there's the bloody history and the timelines that we've got no fucking idea about. We got it all wrong. And that's not a challenge to you. That doesn't have to be, you don't have to get angry about that. Just go, oh, okay, I'll look into that. Don't believe in it, bullshit. But don't just dismiss things. What's the point? I get excited when I learn, and when somebody comes up with me with the most bizarre thing you've ever heard of, I get excited about that, because I can now create more fucking neurons in my brain, and that'll connect to something else, and that'll connect to something else, and then all of a sudden you've got a bit more of a jigsaw puzzle. You can then go back and go, I still don't believe that, but fucking hell, I didn't have to learn that and that on the way. So don't be fucking triggered, and don't be in your little box of believing and thinking. You know, be open to things, always. Not the gin, though. Don't be open to them. Don't go doing Ouija boards. That's a load of shit. Anyway, what's I going on about? Oh, I can't even remember now. I'm going to go back in. So, what do we... Look at this. Look at this. Right. When I used to work as a drug and alcohol worker, and when I used to work in the night project, as a night project, no, in the hostel for homeless people, bless them, some of them had hepatitis and things. We used to be fucking scared to death of catching shit like that. We used to have to put used to do their washing, we had to put big fucking like gauntlets on, pick things up with bloody poles that's, you know, cordon off areas if there was like a tissue with a bit of blood on, get the yellow fucking box for, you know, the yellow boxes you put all the hazardous waste in. And I'm not being funny, if this is a pandemic, why is nobody scared to death of a Convid mask on the floor? Come on, it's time to wake up now, guys, innit?